Hey guys, welcome back to my hair. Did I just say welcome back to my hair? What? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about Colourpop's newest collection, which is in honor of their 4th birthday. We have brand new Luxe lipsticks in a new formula, which is matte, and the other lipsticks definitely do have like a more creamy look to them. These are very matte, very pigmented, and still very comfortable to wear. I have tested one of these out already and it's amazing. As usual, every Luxe lip is $7 each. You can also get this whole kit for $84, I believe, on Colourpop's website. They did send me this collection with 2 more lipsticks. These are like really funky colors. I don't know if it's part of this collection. I think it's just maybe like 2 really fun colors, but this is like the set you would get. But either way, we're gonna play with everything. Then we have the Fame eyeshadow palette, which I believe this is their very first cool tone palette. This is what the actual palette looks like. Look at this packaging. Honestly, like Colourpop's packaging is like one of my favorites. It's just so fun and whimsical, and I love the themes they come up with. Like, they're graphics people. And when you open the palette, you have your 16 shadows inside. This one doesn't have a mirror in it, but it does have the names written inside, which I'm so glad that they've started doing that with their palettes. Even though it's still on the back, it's very easy to look at the name in the front. Thank you, Colourpop, for making our lives a little bit easier. To be completely honest, just looking at this palette, it is a little bit like underwhelming. It's not the most exciting palette I've ever looked at. You're definitely gonna create a neutral look, and a lot of the shades look very similar to each other, although they're not, but they just look similar. You do have like really dark, deep shades and this beautiful purpley toned one, so you definitely can do something like very deep, sexy, sultry, nighttime look. It's not just gonna be like super basic and simple. Generally, like overall, it looks like you're gonna get a pretty neutral look. Again, haven't put it on my eyes yet. I might bite my tongue and take that all back. We're gonna test it out. I already know that I love Colourpop's eyeshadow formula, so that's literally a given. Also, this palette is $22. All right, with all that said, I think we should test out some of these products. I'm gonna start off with the eyes first, so let me zoom you guys in and let's get started. I'm starting off with the shade Center Stage, which is just a matte nude shade, and you guys know I always start off with a color like that on my brow bone, and then I like to bring it down just a little bit. Sometimes it helps blend out like the crease colors when there's like a base down. I'm going to the shade Clubhouse, which is this really pretty, ooh, it looks a lot more purpley on the eye than it did in the pan. I'm taking the shade Stardom, and I'm also placing this in my crease. I'm gonna go into the shade, it's called Bday, I think, and this just like straight up looks like a dark like charcoal gray, and I'm like so scared. I hope I don't get any fallout on my face, but I'm gonna pop that on the outer parts of my eyes to deepen up the look a little. I like to tap that into the crease first, get all the pigment in there, and then I will go back and blend out the edges. There's an even deeper shade in this palette. It's called Lifestyle, and this one looks like really pigmented, so I'm gonna take a very tiny amount and dust it off. This one has a lot of kickback for some reason, so I'm taking that shade and I'm going to focus that just on this outer part. I'm also gonna bring it along half of my lash line just to like smoke it out a little bit. It's actually really interesting because I haven't put any eyeshadow on my lower lash line, yet I have eyeshadow down there. How did that happen? I'm gonna take the shade Clubhouse and I'm going to run this on my lower lash line and I guess blend it with whatever's down there. however it got down there. For the inner corners of my eyes, I'm taking the shade Extravaganza, and I'm going to pop that right in there for, ooh, for a pretty highlight. I'm going to take a little bit of Showboat and pop that on the center of the brow bone. This is going to add a little bit of like a glowy look. Ooh, that is really pretty. I'm not gonna lie, the more I use this palette, the more I'm just loving it. Everything is blending out beautifully. The colors just complement each other so well, and I'm not typically just a warm tone girl. I definitely do love me some cool tone shadows, and I can see myself using this palette a lot because it's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna go into the shade Posh, and I'm just going to apply this to my lids with a flat shadow brush. And I am using this shadow dry. I don't always use shadows wet, so feel free. It will definitely make it a lot more pigmented and intense. For the rest of my lid, I'm going to go into this really interesting shade. It's called Privy or Privé. No, Privy? Whichever one. This color is kind of like a taupey gray. Interesting shade. So I'm going to pop that right in here. Ooh. So the last thing I'm going to do is take an angled brush. I'm going to wet this, dip into the shade Lifestyle, and create a little wing. I'm going to do that off camera. I'm so sorry because I need to concentrate and get close to my mirror. So I'll be right back. Before I put some mascara on, I wanted to show you guys my wing. This is such a pigmented shadow, so you do want to be really careful, but once used wet for liner purposes, it's so creamy. Like, this was like such an easy wing for me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the look with some mascara, and I'll be right back. Now that the eyes are done, we're going to move on to the lip products. I'm going to be swatching all 14 lipsticks on my lips for you guys. It's going to be quite an adventure, so wish me luck. I'm going to try the first shade kind of with you guys and describe how it feels, the finish, formula, and all that jazz. And then I will swatch the rest of the shades in true Jess fashion. So let's start with the first shade. The first shade I'm going to try out with you guys is called Confetti Cake, and it's quite an interesting color. This is like a teal green. It's actually so beautiful. Who knows what this is going to look like on me, but let's just put it on my lips. This color is so freaking cool and fun. Whether it looks good on me and flatters me, who knows? But I think this is such a cool color. I'm like low-key obsessed with it. There's so many bright, colorful lipsticks that just look very chalky, very dry. It's like patchy, but this is so smooth, so pigmented. As you guys saw, it's like one swipe pigment. They're very, very, very lightweight. Definitely has a matte finish to it. My lips kind of look like velvet. I would even say compared to Colourpop's Matte X formula, they're very similar, but I want to say that these almost feel a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go ahead and kiss the back of my hand. I know these are not transfer proof, but I want to just show you guys, although it does have a matte beautiful finish, it will transfer. There you go. One color down, 13 more to go, so let's get into it. Those were all 14 Matte Lux lipsticks. I really like these a lot. I'm actually obsessed, and I feel like I'm gonna be reaching for some of those Jess shades a lot. You guys saw that there were quite a few that I really liked. This one that I'm wearing right now is called Big Break. I thought it just matched my eyes and my hoodie. Going through all these colors, I'm really happy with the formula, the way they feel on the lips. They just glide on very easily, and they're just so pigmented. They're super lightweight, very comfy, like I've already mentioned. Just because they're like a matte lipstick, they 100% do not like dry out my lips or make my lips look more wrinkly or anything like that. There were two shades out of all of these that kind of applied a little different. Is these two right here. We have Check Please, which is this bright orange shade. This is a really crazy color. It just went on a little patchy. You can still see my lip through it, and every time I kept going over and over trying to get it opaque, it just, I don't know, it made my lips just look a little funky, and I just wasn't like a fan of this shade particularly. And then we have TRILL Secret, which is this beautiful, like, interesting periwinkle blue. I don't know how to describe this color, but this one as well, kind of, you can see my lip through it as I was kind of like swiping back and forth. After a while, it did get to like a nice opaque finish, a little bit more than the orange one, but I gotta say these two probably applied not the greatest. But besides those two shades, everything else performed amazingly. I'm very impressed with the quality and formula of these lipsticks. I'm pretty sure you guys know how much I love them already, but I just can't stop looking at my lips. They look so pretty. And of course, this would not be a proper Jess swatch video if I didn't leave you guys with some swatches on the arm. I will do the eyeshadows and I'll do lipsticks for you guys, and enjoy. much concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what your favorite shades were, your product, did you pick anything up, or are you going to pick anything up? Definitely let me know. As usual, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, mesijesibeauty, Snapchat, JesiJet. I've been seeing some changes lately on there. I don't know if it's gonna make a comeback. Who knows? But you guys can always follow me on Instagram, Makeup by Jesi, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, what are you waiting for? Please do so before you go. I appreciate it so very much. With that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!